All right, today I'm going to put together a card that I have already made using this sort of lovely ink blended background that I have already done using inks from the Stamps of Life. I believe I used blueberry, sky, and a little bit of cloud are the three ink colors. I have also sprayed on some glimmer mist from Tattered Angels. I've had this for a very long time. The color is granite. It kind of puts this sort of silvery sheen. And I'm going to be putting this on a blueberry cardstock base. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim my cardstock down to A2 in size. So I've cut my cardstock to 5.5 by the 8.5 wide, and then I'm going to move my trimmer aside, and I'm going to bring it here to my score pal, and I'm going to score at 4.25, and then fold that down and give it a good crease. And so that will become my card base. The next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my inked background layer, and you can see it's a full size of the card, so I'm actually going to trim this down ever so slightly so that you will see a blue border all the way around, and I'm just going to trim this very, very slightly so that I have about an 1/8 inch border. Let's see here. I think I'll take that side off. And so that now when I put this onto my blueberry card base, that it will sit just like that. So I am going to take a little bit of my art glitter glue. I really love this stuff. It's got a fine metal tip, although be aware you cannot, or I should say you should not order it in cold weather, as it will gunk up on you. So if you were in an area with very cold weather, now would not be a good time to order it unless your weather is going to hold and be above 40 degrees for the whole time that your item would be in shipment. So there we are. I've got that on my card base. And now I'm going to take this snowflake, this large snowflake that I have previously cut out. The die itself is from the Stamps of Life. It is called the Intricate Snowflake Folded, and you could use it to make a card. I am actually I cut this out of a shimmer paper that I got from Michael's, and I'm just going to attach it to the front of my card in a single layer. And so I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the back. This probably would have been easier had I done like a double-sided adhesive on the back, but I was honestly just testing, and I didn't think that I was going to use this. But it turned out so gosh darn pretty that I've since decided I had to do something with it. So a little tiny bit of glue, kind of spread all around. That's where this fine metal tip is very, very useful. And I'll just do that. And I'll just be getting my fingers a little bit gluey when I dot a bit more on. Yeah, what can you do, right? So here this, and I'm actually going to put it a little bit off center and lay it right there, because I think I'm going to come back with a word or some kind of a sentiment and place right there. Alright, so I have gone and off camera I have cut my sentiment. I used a die, also from the Stamps of Life, from their Peace monthly card kit, which I believe was their October 2020 monthly card kit. And I am going to attach this sentiment. And what I like to do is the sentiment currently is stuck inside the die, but I used the same shimmer paper that I did for the Snowflake. The cardstock layer has lifted out, so it's sticky. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set my die on top of this background.
Mama, what's going on?
Sorry about that, minor interruption. But what I like to do is I like to take a piercing tool, and there's these little holes in the die that allow you to kind of poke through to try and loosen up the image on the other side. Well, I will kind of poke it down and use that to lift it off, and then it's kind of already perfectly positioned. So then all I have to do is burnish it a bit, and there it is. It is very stuck on, and you can see it's out of my die. And so I am just going to put this right here, put a little bit of glue on the back, and there we are. We're going to have just a very simple but very pretty, I think, holiday card, Christmas card that I could send someone. So there it is, and I hope you enjoy that.